Hey YouTube, it's Afronique and I want to talk to you today about getting a flat belly. So I've been doing a lot of things trying to get my stomach flat for my 30th birthday, and I just wanted to share with you some different things that I have learned because I've been doing lots and lots of research on the area. So this is going to be divided into two different videos. One will focus on the things you can do that are more towards exercising, and the other things are more focused towards diet. So first, let me say that there is no such thing as spot reduction, unfortunately. So you can do as many abs as you want to and as many crunches as you want to, but unfortunately, you just can't reduce the fat from that particular area. You're gonna have to lose fat all over. And what I learned is that the way your body loses fat is in the reverse order of which it gained it. So if you gained it in your belly first, then you're going to lose it in your abdomen last, unfortunately. So this video is focused on exercise, so let me share with you the different things that I've been doing in and outside of the gym. So strength training is important, and you have to train your whole entire body, not just your abdomen, because like I said, you cannot spot reduce. So you want your whole body to be looking good and you want to lose fat all over. So when you are working out, you want to make sure that you are lifting heavy. The goal is the more muscle mass you have, the easier it is to lose the fat, because you'll burn more fat with the more muscle that you do have. And then you do want to have a nice balanced body anyway. You wouldn't want just like the flat abs and, you know, some flabby triceps. That wouldn't look right. So you might as well just be in the gym hitting up everything. And so let's see. I'm going through my list because I have a lot of things that I have been doing, and this is in no particular order. Okay, so one thing I noticed is that I noticed the most change in my body after I've had a good recovery period, which is 7 to 8 hours for me. And by recovery period, I just mean rest, mainly sleep. So for me, when you're in the gym, what you're doing is you're putting tears in your muscle, and then it's not until your sleep that those tears get repaired, and you're eating protein and doing things like that that help to repair those muscles. So you want to make sure you allow yourself enough time for your body to be able to recover. You can't just constantly be in the gym every day, you know, not giving yourself a break and then expecting to see results, because unfortunately you'll just kind of set yourself up for injury and not allow your body the time that it needs to heal to build those muscles. And then one thing I do is I hold in my belly throughout the day in order to kind of train those muscles to kind of, you know, get them to stay in, get that belly sucked in there. And I also do it whenever I'm doing any kind of exercise. You know, I'm making sure to keep my core tight. And then I do exercises that challenge my core, like let's say that I'm working my chest. Instead of just sitting on a bench doing it, I can sit on a stability ball, and then because I'm having to balance, it will also engage my core. So I'm also getting a workout for my core as I'm working out my chest. So you're multitasking. And let's see, your transverse abs are your corset abs. So that could be a particular area that the corset, meaning it holds in, you know, everything. So if you're having trouble with your abdomen protruding, it could be because that particular muscle is weak. And if you're a mother like me, then you have a greater chance that that could be the case. So you may want to look into that. And it could also be your back. You could have a weak back, and that could be what's causing the problem also. So there are different things you can look into that aren't necessarily having to do with your abs that could be causing the issue. I also heard like your hip adductors could also be weak, and or they need to be stretched, and that could be a reason too. And then let's see, one thing you can do also I read about is that you can work your obliques, which is your ab muscles that are on the side. And you can work those to make the middle of your stomach or your abdomen appear smaller, but that you do have to be careful with exercises that are specifically just for obliques, because you can injure yourself. What the theory is behind it is that the way you work your body, you can make balance, and by having some parts bigger than others. Like I've heard if you make your shoulders look bigger, then it'll make your middle look smaller also, because it just kind of does stuff too. Or you can have a bigger chest and it changes it too. So there's different little tricks like that I read about. You want to make sure your posture is correct, because the way you're standing and sitting could be making it bulge out also. You can do HIIT training, which is high intensity training. Sprints is also good for losing fat. There's the 4-point tummy vacuum, which is an exercise that you can look up, and it's a way of sticking your belly out and sucking it in, and that's again is training your transverse abdominals. And then Udayana, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's a breathing technique that also involves sticking your belly out, sucking it in, and it's also another way to train it outside of the gym. And that's Udayana, and I'll type that for you too. I'll try to type that somewhere so you know how to spell it, so you can look it up. And then also I read that you can do your ab work at the beginning of your workout, so therefore you're not tired already, and you can get a really good workout in before you start working your other muscles. And then on bodybuilding.com, they say they have an article that says the best way to train your abs is to do one set that works each particular ab group, and you do that until exhaustion. So what you would do is, like, you would work your rectus abdominis first, which is your bottom abs. So you would pick an exercise and do that until you're exhausted. You wouldn't count reps, you would just do it until you couldn't do it anymore. And then you would move on to your obliques. Do that exercise until you can't do it anymore. Then you move on to your upper abs. Do that exercise until you can't anymore. Then you've worked your abs to exhaustion, and they say that that's the best way to train it. They also have an article on there by Ashley Conrad, and she's a celebrity trainer, and she shares with you some exercises that she does. And I've been doing that lately, and I've been seeing like some good ab definition from doing those exercises also. And it's different from like the other article on bodybuilding.com. She does have you doing like more than just the 3 exercises, but she does have you working into exhaustion. And then another thing that can be a weak area that could be causing your abdomen to stick out would be your Kegel muscle, I believe it's pronounced. And that muscle kind of holds everything up and in. So it could be kind of your organs that are, you know, sticking out. That could be causing your abdomen to stick out. So that's something to look into to see if that muscle is weak. And then if you're a mom, you also want to make sure that you don't have your ab separation that goes down the middle, like where your belly button is. That could be also causing your abdomen to stick out. So that's something you want to look into. And you can Google that so you can figure out how to do the test to figure out if you do have that separation that you would need to figure out a way to get fixed. There's certain exercises that you can do that I've done to make sure that mine is good. And if it's really, really bad, then you may have to see a professional for that. So those are just some things as far as exercise-wise that I've been doing to get a flat belly. So click on over to my other video where I talk about the things I've been doing diet-wise.